Okay, sorry, you caught me off guard, but I'm just observing this very small space of mine, whether I am going to start repairing a leak or anything. So I will, anyway, I'll be checking later. But let's bring back our first guest, Undersecretary Epimaco Densing III. Yusek, let's now shift gears to the situation regarding ECQ to granular lockdown to back to MECQ. Ano ba nangyari? Why did the IATF pull back? Because alam mo, mapapaaway ako sa nangyaring yan eh. I started telling people, oh, you can move from GCQ to GCQ. Eh, biglang yung pala, hindi naman pala GCQ kayo, MECQ pala kayo.
Well, first of all, the MECQ is just an extension, and up to September 15, unless we implement earlier already this policy shift to yung alert levels and granular lockdowns. Well, first of all, yung granular lockdowns, we're already doing that. No?
Yeah.
Even if we are still under MECQ, ginagawa na natin as early as last year. It's just the policy shift is now to emphasize on granular lockdowns and for the national government to assist and to partner with the local governments in their needs during a granular lockdown. So even today, nag-granular lockdown tayo. In fact, last week, there's a total of 990 granular lockdowns all over the country. So we are now monitoring starting at the day when we made that policy shift. No. Now, ang tanong, bakit na-extend? No? We had the operational guidelines of these alert levels approved yesterday. It was just it was, kasi the past 1 or 2 days, medyo nalilito yung mga tao. They do not understand this policy shift. And only a few of us have been explaining this in public because at the time we were still consolidating the operational guidelines, which we had it approved yesterday. They were just the IATF principals just wanted the public to be prepared about this policy shift on granular lockdowns and alert levels because this is entirely different from the community quarantine classifications we've experienced in the past. No, in fact, in this case, Sito, when we identify a granular area, we will be very strict in the mobility of people in that area. Not even a force, except for the healthcare workers, OFWs leaving for abroad, and emergency cases. Not even the force will be allowed to move in a granular area. They will stay there for 14 days. No? In a non-granular area where there are alert levels, the difference here is even the non-essentials activities can already move. In other words, if you're in the non-granular area, a person can go for a non-essential activity to another local government units. There's no restriction in his or her movement. But of course, the restriction is on the LGU of destination. He or she has to
Yeah, but
give
you
in.
know, Yusek, pasensya ka na ha. Alam mo
Oh,
naman ako, I'm very cooperative with you guys. I support you guys, but nahihilo na kami eh. Here, the local government units are supposed to make the determination if they will have granular lockdown or not. That is what was announced. And there would be 4 levels of alerts 1, 2, 3, 4, like the typhoon we're having now. We are under typhoon number 2. Eh, ano ba itong 4 level of alerts, and how does a barangay captain or a mayor determine? Kasi yung suspension of classes lang, Yusek, nagmumurahan na tayo eh. Eh, ang
ay,
pakayang granular lockdown na yan.
Hindi, kaya nga, that's why nag-decide ang principals kahapon to i-delay by a few days, no? A few days lang ba? I think
Yeah,
baka sa
I love
Friday
your
ma-implement
I,
na ito eh.
I
Kasi
love
hindi
your
hindi
choice of word,
maintindihan.
principal. Parang
Kasi,
eskwela eh.
oo nga eh. We call them IATF principals. We are the
Okay, okay.
deputies.
Okay,
The
anyway,
deputies.
kindly
So, mga
explain
few
again.
days
Oh,
lang
sige.
yan, no? To at least that's why this your program of yours is one opportunity for us to clear to the people, to your listeners, how this works, no? First of
Okay.
all, it's only a pilot in the NCR. Yung again, the granular lockdowns is already there from the very beginning. It's being implemented nationwide. We just made it standardized, and the national government is part of the whole implementation process. No? Pero itong mga alert level sa NCR lang muna, it's a pilot. Okay? it's entirely new protocols. Magkakaroon lang tayo ng four alert levels, no? Sa four alert levels, we will now consider, ito yung binanggit ko kanina, the activities rather than the location of restriction, no? So the three C's is identifying activities in crowded areas, closed areas, and activities that promote close contacts. What are the examples? Dine-in, indoor dining, social gatherings, parties, religious activities, meetings, conferences, and exhibits. So ito yung mga activities identified in the three C's, no? So ano ngayon ang role ng alert level? Depending on the criteria, which includes the daily attack rates, two-week growth rate, and more importantly, yung healthcare utilization rate of the specific local government unit, or in this case, the whole of National Capital Region, magde-determine ngayon ng alert level on a weekly basis. Ano itong alert level? If you're in alert level 4, yung activities na binanggit ko kanina, yung 3 Cs, will be entirely prohibited. But
Okay.
it doesn't restrict people from moving, but the
Okay,
activities are restricted on
wait,
alert
wait.
4.
Okay lang. Pero how do you determine you have to declare alert level 4?
Isa lang, si DOH lang nagde-declare. In the level of provinces, highly urbanized city and component city, independent component cities, and NCR. In our case, naka-pilot pa tayo sa NCR. So if
Oh,
you're looking at the news,
so either it's the DOH NCR or DOH regional, kasi dun sa mga lumalabas na report, yung barangay captain o yung mayor is given the authority to determine the alert.
no. DOH lang. Kasi
Okay.
we have a criteria for declaration. Ito yung binanggit ko kanina, mga healthcare utilization
Yeah.
rate, average daily attack rate. So si DOH lang nakakaalam yan. So it's only DOH which will announce. So in other words, yung ating regular na announcement na GCQ ka, MECQ ka, ECQ ka, hindi na po yun. Ang i-announce na lang, alert level 1 ka, alert level 2 ka, 3 or 4. Si DOH lang mag-a-announce through the IITF.
Okay. So pag alert level 4, walang lalabas, walang sosyalan, no activities that is indoor contact, close contact, or mass gathering.
Basta yung
None.
3C. 3C.
Basta 3C. Okay,
Pero
alert
walang
level.
sinasabi na walang labasan. Because even if it's a non-essential, makakalabas ka pa. In fact, Sito, this is good for the economy because even the malls will be allowed to be open. Even in Alert 4. Kasi pwede kang pumasok dun sa hindi ka sinasara. Basta hindi lang siya crowded, indoor, tsaka promoting close contacts. In-identify na natin yung activities. So
Okay.
if it's a mall and it doesn't have any parties inside the mall, tapos yung let's say non-essential area, let's say nagbebenta ng yung boutique, basta lang
Oh.
meron kang practice ng minimum public health standards doon and you don't crowd the people inside, you're allowed to open.
So,
Even at
okay.
the mall. It's the activities which is being prohibited.
Okay, yeah, but that suggests, or I tend to think that when you do that, bukas nga yung mall, but you will regulate the number of people inside the mall.
Correct. That's right. Sa alert 4 lang yan. Kasi you're
Yeah,
in
but
other
we're
kung
doing
ECQ
that
tayo, sarado dapat yan eh.
Oh, but we're doing that already. So what's new?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're saying. If we are in total lockdown, you're not allowed because you're not allowed to do non-essential work. And selling boutiques, selling dresses, jewelries is a non-essential work. So you're closed, even in the present situation, MECQ. But in the new alert levels, you're allowed to open, even if you're alert 4, as long as you're not in a closed place, you're not crowding, and you are not promoting close contact activities.
Yeah, pasensya ka na, Yusek, kasi I'm just giving you inputs, no?
Yeah, correct. And I'd like to clarify kasi marami talagang nalilito.
Kasi ang general impression is dito sa granular lockdown, bahay-bahay, barangay-barangay. We will be locking down residences, streets, or communities if it requires an entire barangay or several barangays where no one gets to go out until everyone is cured and cleared. But now
Tito, you should distinguish. You should
oh,
distinguish first. There are actually two things that we're doing simultaneously. Doing granular lockdowns, and these are the protocols under the granular lockdowns, given na yan, and activities to be done in areas where it is not under granular lockdowns. So
mm,
under areas not under granular lockdowns or lockdowns for that matter, these alert levels will be prevailing. Is that something
I'm sorry. I'm
ayun, ayun.
sorry. I
Ah,
don't know if I need more coffee today or kasi I mean, you have to figure this out, Yusek, because I'm a journalist. I think I'm old enough to understand
yeah, I know.
complexities of life, but I am so confused already kasi yung pronouncement ganito, and then now we're going to throw into the mix certain levels of economic, kasi I think economic activity is not an issue here. Business will go on. That is the message under this new model. Except
Correct,
that,
that's right.
yeah, business goes on, life goes on, pero pag na-determine ng DOH, ng local health officers, city hall or barangay, that we have several cases, kalsa-kalsada, pami-pamilya, lockdown.
Kaya nga, that's why I'm making it clear.
Yeah, yeah,
Pag naka-granular lockdown ka, there's already a set of rules dyan that we've been doing even in the
yeah.
past. Huwag na natin pakialaman yung granular lockdown. Ang pakialaman natin, yung non-granular areas where the alert 1, alert 2, and alert 3, and alert 4 are the ones prevailing. Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay, I get it. So, basta yung granular lockdown, yung mga may tama, alam na ninyong gagawin sa
Yes,
inyo, hindi
correct.
kayo lalabas. Pero
Correct.
doon sa area na yan, kung saan merong granular lockdown, depende on the level of
Walang
alerts.
granular lockdown. Walang granular lockdown. Areas na walang granular lockdown.
Walang granular lockdown ang
Mm.
sinasabi mo. Okay, so,
Oh, ito,
there,
will give you
okay,
statistics, Sito.
oh,
We've
okay,
determined in NCR, 80% of the cases are only limited to those 12% of the barangays in the National Capital Region. So hindi fair that you're closing the whole NCR because of that 12% of the barangays having the 80% of the cases. So what we're
okay,
saying is, itong 12% na barangays, i-close namin yan, i-granular lockdown namin yan for 14 days. Itong 88, may rules na yan. Walang galawan, no mobility. Hindi rin applicable dyan yung mga alert levels. Dito sa 88% of the barangays na hindi naka-granular lockdown, we implement the alert levels.
yes.
So
Okay,
yun na yun.
so,
So ang
okay,
rules niyan,
sige.
dito sa 88%, sa wala kang 3 Cs, i-determine natin kung alert 4 ka, 3, 2, or 1. In
Okay,
fact, if
ganito
you're in
na lang.
alert 1, Sito, ano na, freewheeling na. It's just your new normal and people will be subjected to minimum public health standards.
Okay. I will leave it at that for now because I think I am going to have to let this incubate for a few days. Pagkatapos mag-usap tayo ulit because I know there are going to be more complications because the number of cases of Metro Manila, according to doctors we've interviewed, is so high that if you follow the granular lockdown policy, it would apply to the entire NCR. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Tuloy. Thank you, Yusek Epimako Dancing, and I hope to speak to you next week. Just depende on what kind of dance this Jolina is going to do on top of us here in Batangas. Pagdasal mo na lang kami at kami ay
So,
nine-nervyos na. Thank you very much, Yusek.
thank you very much and thank you for giving the opportunity for at least to introduce you to this new set of protocols. It's really a policy shift. Kaya hindi
Okay.
nasanay kasi tayo sa dati. So thank you
Yeah,
very much, Ito.
okay, but let's schedule one more and please prepare some graphics, yung simplified graphics para kasi tayong dalawa nagkwekwentuhan, baka yung tao nag-iisip pa. So if you produce a graphic and we can air it, it would be a lot easier to comprehend.
Sige, sige. We'll do
Okay,
that. We'll do that.
thank you very much, Yusek Densing. And we will go for a quick break. When we return, balikan po natin ang ating next guest tungkol naman sa Philippine National ID here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program Agenda. You are watching us via Signal TV channels 8 and 250. You can also watch us on facebook.com/OneNewsPH and on YouTube. Just type in OneNewsPH. Let's go to our next guest, Assistant Secretary Rosalinda Bautista. She is Assistant Secretary of PSA, one of the individuals leading the implementation of the rollout of the national ID system in the country. Asek Bautista, good morning. Sorry na delay yung ating interview.
Okay lang po. Good morning, Sir Sito.
Okay.
I miss
Okay.
you. I've been listening to you before, years back.
Okay, Asek Bautista, I'll give you the floor and the microphone. Just please explain to our viewers where are we with the national ID system. I understand you have over 1 million Filipinos already who got their ID. Eh pati nga yung aking trabahador dito nakakuha na ng ID, ako hindi pa. Eh
Talo
sabi
ka,
ko,
sir.
paano ba nakakakuha? So kindly explain to our viewers where we can get, how to get, what we need to prepare for the national ID.
Okay, unahin ko na po, sir, yung where we are in the national ID. We have actually, tatlo po ang process na pinagdadaanan. 3-step process. Step 1 is the registration of your demographic characteristics. After you do that, now we're doing it online. After you do that, you go to a registration center and for your biometric capture. So that's step 2. After step 2, we do back-end processing of your application. Baka po 2 beses or nagparehistro kayo under a different name and then suddenly nagrehistro uli kayo under another name. Then mahuhuli po namin yon under the deduplication process. But those who pass the deduplication process, a PSN is issued and a PhilID will be delivered to you by the PhilPost to your home. So where are we? We have actually registered as of September to 41.9 million. Sa step 1 po yun.
Sorry kala ko 1 million, mali pala basa ko, 41.9 million. Grabe, ang dami na pala.
Pa lang yun, sir. Pero sa step 2, ito yung nag-biometric capture na 28.6 million. Sa
Okay.
nakarating na ID, delivered ng ID, 1.4 million. Kaya po
Ayun.
maswerte na. Pero we have actually personalized more than 4 million IDs.
Okay, now yung first step, demographic character. Ano ba yung demographic? Kasi alam mo kami din sa barangay, simple lang kami makipagkwentuhan eh. Ano ba yung demo na yan?
Sir, may 10 item ayon sa ating batas that are collected for the national ID. At simple lang po ito. Pangalan, lugar ng kapanganakan, date of birth, gender, syempre, yun pong marital status is even optional kung ayaw mo pong i-declare ang iyong blood type, pero kung hindi mo alam, okay lang din po yon. And then your contact number, your address, dalawang address po ang hihingiin kasi doon po kukunin, doon ipapadala yung ID mo in one of the addresses na ibibigay mo, email address, mobile number, and last, whether you are a Filipino or a resident alien. So
Okay.
yun lang po ang kailangang i-fill up. Pag
Okay.
nag-online ka po ngayon, sir, makaka-register ka na ng iyong schedule for step 2 registration.
So pwede actually online, hindi personal na pupunta doon.
Sir, online para lang mabook ka for your step 2 registration.
Okay. So kukuha ng appointment bago makipagkita at mag-picture-picture tayo at magpirmahan.
Yes, sir. Hindi lang po picture-picture kasi kukunin pa po front-facing photograph, yung iris ng mata, at
Okay.
yung iyong 10 daliri, fingerprints.
Okay. So, ulitin ko. So you get the demographic characters which are essentially, number, name, date of birth, place of birth, gender, marital status, optional, blood type, contact number, to address, and email address, cell phone, and whether you are Pinoy or you are a foreigner. That is
A
the one that
resident
caught
alien.
a resident alien. So that caught me. So kailangan merong ACR.
Yes po. If you are a resident alien, there is a requirement that you should have stayed at least 18 months in the country.
Okay, so that means I now have to make breakfast and apologize to my wife who I said is not qualified for a national ID.
Because-
Kasi she's been residing in the country for 30 years. Yari na
Hindi
naman
po,
ako nito.
sir.
Asik. So once you get the demographic character, you will go online, you will register, and then you will be given an appointment. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes
Okay,
po.
now-
You will select yung registration center where you would like to go for registration and the date.
Okay. Are there enough registration centers all over the Philippines? Kasi alam mo, isang inaangal sa akin ng maraming senior citizen, lalo na yung mga businessmen, yung bang personal appearance daw, takot na nga sila sa Delta, may personal appearance pa. I mean, I understand your requirement because it is identity we're talking about, not just license,
po.
taxes, etc.
Personal appearance is a requirement. So, hindi po pwede yon. So, yung mga sinasabi namin na mga PWDs who cannot really go to a registration center, we will go to them. Kaya lang po ngayon, at this time, ang priority po natin ay yung those who will go to the registration centers para
Yeah.
po makapag-rehistro tayo ng majority of the adult population before the end of the term of
Okay.
President Duterte.
Asek, para hindi ka maubusan ng oras, are there enough registration centers? Where are they usually located?
We have registration centers located in all provinces, not necessarily in all municipalities, but we are trying to do that. Magdadagdag po kami ng additional registration kits na 2,800 so that we can cover more areas starting October. Dito po sa Metro Manila, marami sa kanila nasa malls. Sa mga probinsya, kung meron po tayong malls, meron din po kami doon. But in areas na medyo rural, nasa mga munisipyo po sila. Katandem po namin dito ang local government units.
Okay, so now you mentioned something that caught my attention. Up to how young ang pwedeng mag-register for the national ID?
Sa totoo lang po, pagkapanganak, eventually, pwede ka nang ma-register. Kaya lang, yung capture ng biometric mo kapag po less than 5-year-old, hindi pa ika-capture yung biometric. Pag naman 5 to 15 years old, i-recapture yon at age 15. Pero yung above 15, minsan lang i-recapture ang iyong biometric information. So lahat po ay kasama. Wala po tayo, meron lang po tayong prioritization. Kaya kita mo sir, talo ka doon sa iyong driver nga po ba yon? Kasi po ang naging priority
Laborero.
mo ang low-income families. When we started the October Step 1 last year, we gave priorities to listahanan ng mga beneficiaries. Kaya po sila talaga dahil for financial inclusion.
Kayo pala, you are discriminating against me. Sabi ko, parang masyado kang big time, may ID ka na. Ako
Tama po.
nag-training ako ng mga tiga-PSA, hindi ako nakakuha ng ID. Anyway,
Kasi sila po
Asek,
ang ating priority. Para po, bakit? Para makapag-open sila ng bank account kung wala pa silang bank accounts.
Ayun. So, kasi yun nga kinapipikon ko, yung mga estudyanteng pinapaaral namin, pag nagpupunta sa bangko, hinahanapan ng 2 ID.
Tama po.
Ilang beses na ako nakipagbabag sa mga bank manager dahil dyan. Anyway, that's all good news. Congratulations sa Asek Bautista. Last question na lang. How fast does it take to process, filter, and produce and deliver the Philippine National ID?
Given na we are still actually sir, birth pains pa kami ngayon. Ang nakikita namin na we are working it very closely with the PhilPos. Yung PhilPos po, ang medyo may delay sila. So ang estimate namin, umaabot kami ngayon ng 1 to 6 months, 4 to 6 months after the step to capture bago matanggap yung cards. But we
Okay.
are trying to work it out with the PhilPos kasi nahirapan po sila dahil nga po yung una naming set ng kinapturan ng step 1, step 2 ay mga nasa Parplang barangay. So it was very difficult for them to have their cards deliver.
Okay, well, we understand that, Asek, and siguro bibilis-bilis naman yan as you go to the more populated, more
Tama
developed
po.
areas.
Areas as
Okay.
we register more people in the urban areas.
Okay, Asek, now that you know our contact details and how to reach out to us, inform lang pag may mga new developments, and congratulations na in spite of COVID, in spite of all the challenges, tinuloy-tuloy ninyo ang pagre-rehistro at pag-produce ng national ID. Congratulations to the PSA. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you din po at thank you for having me for this interview and share with you yung aming national ID program.
Okay, that's Assistant Secretary Rosalinda Bautista of the Philippine Statistics Authority. We've run out of time, so we have to end the program now, but I'm just requesting for everyone watching, please pray not just for us but for everyone in the country, especially with the arrival of 2 typhoons. Marami po tayong mga kababayan who do not even have what we can call a decent shelter, much less a house. Let's please pray for all of them, for their safety and their comfort during these times. God bless all of you. That's all our agenda for today, and please keep it here on One News. Thank you.